Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 96 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading Leviticus 17, 1 Kings chapter 2, Psalms 96, Proverbs 6, and Book of John 13. We'll be in the Scriptures 2009. Leviticus chapter 17 on page 123. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, This is the word which Yahweh has commanding, saying, Any man from the house of Israel who slays a bull, or a lamb, or a goat in the camp, or who slays it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of a tent of appointment to bring an offering to Yahweh before the dwelling place of Yahweh, blood guilt is reckoned to that man. He has shed blood, and the man shall be cut off from among his people. In order that the children of Israel bring their slaughterings, which they slaughter in the open field, they shall bring them to Yahweh at the door of the tent of appointment to the priests, and slaughter them as slaughterings of peace offerings to Yahweh. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the slaughter place of Yahweh at the door of the tent of appointment, and shall burn the fat of a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. And let them no longer slaughter their slaughterings to demons, whom they hoard. This is a law forever for them throughout their generations. And say to them, Any man of the house of Israel, or of the sojourning who sojourn with among you, who offers an ascending offering or slaughterings, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment to do it to Yahweh, that man shall be cut off from among his people. Any man of the house of Israel, or sojourners who sojourn among you, who eats any blood, I shall set my face against that being who eats blood, and shall cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the slaughter place, to make atonement for your lives. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, No being among you eats blood, nor does any sojourn who sojourns among you eat blood. And any man from the children of Israel, or from the sojourners who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast or bird which is eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For it is the life of the flesh. Its blood is for its life. And I shall say to the children of Israel, Do not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is in its blood. Anyone eating it is cut off. And any being who eats a carcass, or what was torn by a beast, be he native or sojourner, he shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and shall be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. And if he does not wash or bathe his body, then he shall bear his crookedness. Over this 1 Kings chapter 1. 1 Kings chapter 2 on page 348. And the days of David drew near to die, and he commanded Solomon his son, saying, I am going the way of all the earth, and you shall be strong and be a man, and guard the charge of Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to guard his laws, his commands, his right rulings, and his witnesses, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe, so that you do wisely all that you do, and whatever you turn, so that Yahweh does establish his word, which he spoke concerning me, saying, if your sons guard my way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their being, saying, there is not to cease a man of yours on the throne of Israel. And also you know that Joab, son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the two commanders of the armies of Israel, and Abner, son of Ner, and Amas, son of Jether, that he killed them, and shed the blood of battle in peace, and put the blood of battle on his belt, that was around his waist, and on his sandals, and were on his feet. So act accordingly to your wisdom, and do not let his gray hair go down to Sheol in peace, but show loving commitment to the sons of Barzil, the Gilead, and let them be among those who eat at your table. So they came to me when I fled from Absalom your brother. And see, with you is Shimeon, son of Geher, the Benjamite from Barum, who cursed me with grievous cursing in the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at the Jordan, and swore to him by Yahweh, saying, I shall not put you to death with the sword. And now do not leave him unpunished, for you are a wise man, and know what you should do to him, and shall bring his gray hair down to Sheol with blood. And David slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and in Israel and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. And Solomon sat on the throne of his father, and his reign was firmly established. And Adonijah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and said, do you come in peace? And she said, do you come in peace? And he said, peace. And he said, I have a word for you. And she said, speak. And he said, you know that the reign was mine, and all of Israel had set their faces toward me, that I should reign. But the reign has been turned around, and has become my brother's, for it was his from Yahweh. And now I am making one request of you. Do not refuse me. And she said to him, say it. And he said, please speak to sovereign Solomon, for he would not refuse you to give me Abigail the Shunammite as wife, the woman who was David's companion. And Bathsheba came to sovereign Solomon to speak to him for Abidan. The sovereign rose up to meet her, and bowed down to her, and sat down on his throne, and had a throne set for the sovereign's mother. So she sat at his right hand. And she said, I am making one small request of you. Do not refuse me. And the sovereign said to her, ask it, my mother, for I do not refuse you. Then she said, let Abigail the Shunammite be given to Abidan, your brother, as a wife. And sovereign Solomon answered and said to his mother, now why do you ask Abidan the Shunammite for Abidan? Ask for him the reign also, for he is my older brother, for him, and for Abiathar the priest, and Jobab the son of Tsura. And sovereign Solomon swore by Yahweh, saying, Elohim does so to me, and more also, if Abidan has not spoken this word against his own life. And now, as Yahweh lives, who established me and set me on the throne of David my father, and who has made me a house as he promised, Abidan shall be put to death today. And that's cool. And sovereign Solomon sent by the hands of Ben-Yaham, son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him, and he died. Then the sovereign said to Abiathar the priest, Go to Anathoth, to your own fields, for you deserve death. But I do not put you to death at this time, because you did bear the mark of the Master Yahweh before my father David, and because you were afflicted in all my father was afflicted in. And Solomon dismissed Abiathar from being priest to Yahweh, to fill the word of Yahweh, which he spoke concerning the house of Eli at Shiloh. And news came to Joab, for Joab had turned aside from after Adon thought that he did not turn aside from Absalom. And Joab fled to the tent of Yahweh, and took hold of the horns on the slaughter place. And a report came to sovereign Solomon that Joab had fled to the tent of Yahweh, and see, he is by the slaughter place. Then Solomon sent Ben-Yahana, son of Jehoiada, saying, Go, fall on him. So Ben-Yahana came to the tent of Yahweh, and said to him, Thus said the sovereign, Come out. And he said, No, for here I die. And Ben-Yahana brought back word to the sovereign, saying, Thus said Joab, and thus he answered me. And the sovereign said to him, Do as he has said, and fall upon him. And you shall bury him, so that you take away from me, from the house of my father, the blood which Joab shed without cause. Thus Yahweh shall return his blood on his head, because he had fallen on 2 men, more righteous and better than he, and killed them with the sword, while my father David did not know it. Abner, son of Ner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amas, son of Jether, commander of the army of Judah. So their blood returned upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David and his seed, upon his house and his throne, there is to be peace forever from Yahweh. Then Ben-Yahana, son of Jehoiada, went up and fell upon him, and put him to death. And he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. And the sovereign put Ben-Yahana, son of Jehoiada, in his place over the army, and the sovereign put Zadok the priest in the place of Abiathar. And the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, Build yourself a house in Israel, and dwell there, and do not go out from anywhere there. And it shall be on the day you go out and pass over the Wadi Kiran, know for certain that you shall die. Your blood is on your own head. And Shimei said to the sovereign, The word is good. As my master the sovereign has said, so your servant does. So Shimei dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to be at the end of 3 years that 2 slaves of Shimei fled to Ashkenaz, son of Micah, sovereign of Gath. And they informed Shimei, saying, See, your slaves are in Gath. And Shimei rose up and saddled his donkey, and went to Achish at Gath to look for his slaves. And Shimei went and brought his slaves from Gath. And Solomon was told that Shimei had gone from Jerusalem to Gath and had come back. So the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, Did I not make you swear by Yahweh, and warn you, saying, Know for certain that on the day you leave to go anywhere, you shall certainly die. And you said to me, The word I have heard is good. And why have you not guarded the oath of Yahweh and the command I gave you? The sovereign also said to Shimei, You shall know all the evil that your heart has known, that you did to my father David, and Yahweh shall return your evil on your own head. But sovereign Solomon is blessed, and the throne of David is established before Yahweh forever. So the sovereign commanded Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he went out and fell on him, and he died. And the reign was established in the hand of Solomon. On to Psalms 96 on page 701. Sing to Yahweh a new song. Sing to Yahweh all the earth. Sing to Yahweh, bless his name. Proclaim his deliverance from day to day. Declare his esteem among the nations, his wonders among all peoples. For great is Yahweh, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all mighty ones. For all mighty ones of the people are matters of naught. But Yahweh made the heavens. Excellency and splendor are before him. Strength and comeliness are in his set-apart place. Ascribe to Yahweh, O clans of the peoples. Ascribe to Yahweh esteem and strength. Ascribe to Yahweh the esteem of his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Bow yourselves to Yahweh in the splendor of set-apartness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among nations, Yahweh shall reign. The words also is established immovable. He judges the peoples in straightness. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, and all that fills it. Let the field exult, and all that is in it. Let all the trees of the forest then shout for joy at the presence of Yahweh, for he shall come. He shall come to judge the earth. He judges the world in righteousness, and the people with his truth. On to Proverbs 6 on page 734. My son, if you have become a guarantor for your friend, have shaken hands in a pledge for a stranger, have been ensnared by the words of your own mouth, have been caught by the words of your mouth. Do this at once, my son, and deliver yourself, for you have come into the hand of your friend. Go, humble yourself, and urge your friend. Give no sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hunter's hand, and like a bird from the hand of the trapper. Go to the ant, you lazy one. See her ways and be wise, which, having no commander, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer, gathers her food in the harvest. How long would you lie down, O lazy one? When do you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to lie down? And your poverty shall come like a prowler, and your need as an armed man. A man of Belial, a wicked man, walks with a perverse mouth, winks with his eyes, shuffles his feet, points with his fingers. Perverseness is in his heart, plotting evil at all times. He sends out strife. Certainly his calamity comes suddenly. Instantly he is broken, and there is no healing. These 6 matters Yahweh hates, and 7 are abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands shedding innocent blood, a heart devising wicked schemes, feet quick to run to evil, a false witness breathing out lies, and one who causes strife among his brothers. My son, watch over your father's command, and do not forsake the Torah of your mother. Bind them on your heart always. Tie them around your neck. When you are walking about, it leads you. When you lie down, it guards you. And when you have woken up, it talks to you. For the command is a lamp, and the Torah is a light, and reproof of discipline of ways of life, to guard you against an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a strange woman. Do not desire her prettiness in your heart, neither let her captivate you with her eyelids. For because of a whore one is brought to a crust of bread, and an adulteress hunts a precious life. Would a man take fire to his bosom and his garments not be burned? Would a man walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? So is he who goes into his neighbor's wife. No one touches her goes unpunished. They do not despise a thief, if he steals to satisfy his appetite when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he repays sevenfold. He gives all the wealth of his house. He who commits adultery with a woman lacks heart. He who does it destroys his own life. He finds smiting and shame, and his reproach is not wiped away. For jealousy enrages a man, and he does not spare in the day, and he does not spare in the day of vengeance. He does not regard any ransom, nor accept your bribe, however great. On to John chapter 13. On page 1040, 1040. Before the festival of Pesach, Yeshua, knowing that his hour had come, that he should move out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And supper taking place, the devil having already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Shimon, to deliver him up. Yeshua, knowing that the Father had given all into his hands, and that he had come from Elohim and was going to Elohim, rose from supper, and laid aside his garments, and having taken a towel, he girded himself. After he put water into a basin, and began to wash the feet of the taught ones, and to wipe them with the towel with which he had girded. And so he came to Simon Peter, and said to him, Master. And he said to him, Master, do you wash my feet? And Yeshua answered and said to him, You do not know what I am doing now, but you shall know after this. And Simon Peter said to him, By no means shall you wash my feet ever. And Yeshua answered him, If I do not wash your feet, if I do not wash you, you have no part with me. Simon Peter said to him, Master, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yeshua said to him, He who has had a bath does not need to wash except his feet, but is clean altogether. And you are clean, but not all of you. For he knew who would deliver him up. So he said, You are all not all clean. So when he had washed their feet, and taken his garments, and sat down again, he said to them, Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and master, and you say, Well, for I am. Then if I, master and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I gave you an example, that you should do as I have done for you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is a servant is not greater than his master, nor is an emissary greater than he who sent him. If you know these teachings, blessed are you if you do them. Just going to go off script here for a hot second here. John chapter 13, verse 17. If you know these teachings, blessed are you if you teach them. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. For to this you were called, because Messiah also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that you should follow his steps, who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth, for being reviled and not revile in return, suffering did not threaten, but committed himself to him who judges righteously. Take that with what you will. I do not speak concerning all of, back to chapter 13, verse 18. I do not speak concerning all of you. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture might be filled. He who eats bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. Psalms 41:9. Now I say to you, before it takes place, that when it does take place, you shall believe that I am. Truly I say to you, he who receives whomever I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me. When Yeshua had said this, he was troubled in spirit, and witnessed and said, Truly, truly, I say to you, one of you shall deliver me up. The taught ones looked at one another, doubting of whom he spoke. And one of his taught ones, whom Yeshua loved, John, was reclining in the bosom of Yahweh. And Simon Peter then motioned to him to ask who it was of whom he spoke. And leaning back on the breast of Yeshua, he said to him, Master, who is it? Yeshua answered, It is he to whom I shall give a piece of bread when I have dipped it. And having dipped the bread, he gave it to Judas of Kiraham, the son of Shimon. And after the piece of bread, Satan entered into him. Yeshua therefore said to him, What you do, do quickly. But no one at the table knew why he said this to him. For some were supposing, because Judas had the bag, that Yeshua was saying to him, Buy what we need for the festival, or that he should give whatever to the poor. So that, having received a piece of bread, he sent him out straight away, and it was night. When therefore he went out, Yeshua said, Now the Son of Adam has been esteemed, and Elohim has been esteemed in him. If Elohim had been esteemed in him, Elohim shall also esteem him in himself, and straightway esteem him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You shall seek me, and as I said to the Judean, where I am going, you are unable to come. I now also say to you a renewed command. I give to you that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this shall all know that you are my taught ones, if you have love for one another. Simon Peter said to him, Master, where are you going? Yeshua answered to him, Where I am going, you are unable to follow me now, but afterwards you shall follow me. Simon Peter said to him, Master, why am I unable to follow you now? I shall lay down my life for you. Yeshua answered him, Shall you lay down your life for me? Truly, truly, I say to you, the cock shall not crow at all until you have denied me 3 times. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.